how to count your Aleks learned topics. All right, so each week students are going to have a certain number of topics that they need to complete. Please keep in mind this number is going to be different for every student. What we do is we take a look at what course the student is in and when we want them to have the course completed by, and then how many topics they mastered and how many topics are in the course, and we use those to create their weekly goal. Each of the students has been given their weekly goal, and it is also posted in the Google Classroom on the Aleks sheet that is posted in the stream in the Google Classroom. All right, so to count your Aleks topics, you first have to get into Aleks. So to get into Aleks, we have to go into our class link. Many students know how to get to the class link as we've been practicing it, and they have to get there for Google Classroom. However, if you are on a district Chromebook, it should open up directly to ClassLink. Otherwise, you can go to rusd.org, click on Online Technology, and it'll take you into ClassLink. The student will have to sign in with his or her student ID number and then their password, and then their apps will be here for them. All right, so the math app is Aleks. However, it's called McGraw-Hill. So you're looking for this app right here. It's red on top, white on bottom, and has McGraw-Hill as the name. You're going to open up Aleks, and it's going to take you to the Aleks homepage. And then for our students, they should only have one class listed. For my 6th grade students, they need to be looking for their 6A, 6B, or 6C class. Any class they see that has MTH on the front, they can just ignore. Usually I get it removed before they see it. However, if they do see it, they can just ignore it. They don't need it at this time. To get into their class, they need to click Launch. And that's going to take them into their individual course and path. The first page that it comes to is the student's home screen. It's kind of like their dashboard. They have the option to show whether they want the Aleks pie to be what they see or their timeline. For many students, they choose the timeline because then right when they log in, they have an idea of how many Aleks topics they completed this week. As you can see, it gives you the date on the bottom, and then you can follow that up to see how many topics the student worked on and how many topics they've learned. So on Monday, the student learned 1 topic, on Tuesday 9, on Wednesday 5. There was no work done on Thursday, and we're currently on a Friday. So right now it's not showing anything because the student has not worked on it today. So we can take this, and again, this does just show you the learned topics. It's important to note that you have to count the learned topics, not just any topic, not attempted, but learned. Okay, so these will only show the learned topics. So here we can just add these numbers and we come up with 15. So this student has completed 15 topics already this week. The other way that this can be done is on the top left corner, there are 3 lines, and you can click on those 3 lines, and I apologize, I can see that it's outside my screen, but for privacy reasons, I did not want to have the student name available. Just know it's at the top left-hand side next to the word Aleks, and then you will go down to Reports. When you go into the reports, you're going to have all these tiles here. Each of these tiles can be moved, so you can click on it and move it around. It's completely up to you where you want those. My suggestion is to have these 3 in your top 3 because the pie tells you how you're doing within the course. The timeline is exactly like what you see on that first page. And then this week's activity gives you up-to-date numbers for this week. Our weeks run Monday through Sunday, so they are concurrent with what you are going to see here. So this week's dates were September 14th through September 20th. So anything done within that week is what's counted. And then once September 21st hits, that next course or that next week has already started, so those topics will be counted for that week. You can see right here that it says topics learned is 15, so it gives you that number right off the bat. And it also lets you know how many topics were attempted but not learned in the week. So for this student, it was 15 learned, and that was all. So they attempted 15 and learned 15. There weren't any that they attempted and did not learn. You can also go back into different weeks, so you can click View Full Report. And in doing so, it'll give you a day by day. It'll tell you how much time they spent in Aleks. So my guess here is, because of the fact that it's 2 hours and 4 minutes, this very well could have been a knowledge check. If you're not sure, you can uncheck these boxes, okay, and it'll show you whether or not there was a knowledge check. So you can see that this student has been logged on a lot today, but it wasn't a knowledge check. So double check that, because they might tell you, oh, but I was in there. But if you don't see, so if you look here, if you don't see these blue lines, that means that they didn't attempt anything, they didn't do anything. Or if you don't see any orange lines, it means that they were in there, but they didn't do anything. Now, I have been in this, using this today for tutorials, so that is why you see that this student has been in for hours and has done nothing. All right, so you can go through and you can count, and you can see again 1, 9, and 5, so 15 topics, and you can also see the time spent. You can also change the date range to take a look at other weeks. So I can start from the 9th and see everything up to today, or I can shorten it up and just look at that week. These are really good tools to help students know where they are at, and to help the adult take a look and see, okay, where are you at, and just kind of double check. This is also what we will be using when we pull reports to make sure that the student is staying on tracks with topics as well.